Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So you're here with myself, Ben and AJ. Chris is actually not joining us today, but he will be back very soon. So it's going to be more of the setup, regularly, just me and AJ coming through every single day. AJ, how are you, my friend?
Yes, I'm good. Yeah, the charts, they're looking okay, finding support. So we'll get onto that a little bit later, but I know you've got some interesting things to be talking about now. So pass it back to you.
Yeah, no, we do. So there's a little bit, I just want to give like a little bit of information with regards to exactly what I think is now going to be kind of at the beginning of a year of lots of regulation, but also lots of clarity in the markets. And that's something that I think, anyway, is actually going to be really, really good for the overall market. We don't want to have like too much regulation, but I think having enough is just going to give some investors that confidence that they need.
Yeah, exactly.
So hopefully we'll get some of that. But I'm going to jump straight in. I'm going to share my screen. So right now, can you see my screen there, AJ?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. So Cointelegraph, just want to start. Very nice. We like that.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of green. I mean, I got in Solana at like 46, it was, I think. So I'm up a little bit, feeling relatively okay. I just thought at this price, like, how can I not be buying Solana at bloody $46?
It's too cheap. It's too cheap.
It is. And so anyway, obviously it's a risk. But just I want to quickly go through this article that we see here, give our take on it. So Bitcoin and Ether had a rough week, but derivative data reveal a silver lining. So although the prices were getting smashed, we did see that retail traders were actually not ready to become perma-bears, as you see here. But it's kind of giving us an indication that the people who like crypto are still involved very heavily as well. And so, I guess like the real people who make the crypto market, we're not scared and we haven't run away. And this is where I just want to quickly touch on some of the regulations. So firstly, the UK court recognizes NFTs as private property, which I think is actually very, very good because now, actually holding it, it's legally recognized as something. We also then have the US. They said, I think they wanted to increase the stablecoin, the SEC, they wanted to increase the stablecoin regulation and actually investigate them a lot more. As you see here, the United States Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen stated that the stablecoin market is not a threat to the country's financial stability. But in a different article, she was also saying that it is something that they need to be aware of and kind of investigating as well. AJ, what's your take on having a little bit more regulation in the market? Obviously, we don't want to go too far, but what's your take on it?
I think too much regulation would be bad, but a little bit of regulation would be good because, people need to have confidence in these stable coins that they are going to stay stable and keep their peg. And, without any regulation at all, like what's just happened with the Luna stable coin, then, that's just completely crashed. So I think it's good that we have that just a little bit of regulation so that people can be confident in these stable coins that they are going to keep to their peg.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And the thing is, I think that, when we do begin to get a little bit more regulation, we'll end up with more of this type of news that we're seeing here, institutional investors buying the dip. This is from the Purpose Bitcoin ETF. So that's the one in Canada, but added 6,900 Bitcoin on May the 12th. So they were obviously, buying the dip in a very, very large way. And that's the largest single day buy-in ever registered, which I think is really, really good. And it's giving more validity and a lot more, should we call it like credibility into the overall market, even though we were in the middle of just pain all over the place, really.
They're buying at a good time, though.
Absolutely, yeah. It definitely helped us as retail traders, helped us to see that bounce. And everyone who did buy the dip, obviously, is now laughing, really.
Just to add on to that, how retail traders are, very, very bullish at the moment. Over on bitfinex, the Bitcoin longs are actually at an all-time high and smashed through that all-time price. So the previous all-time high was actually 53,000 800 longs, and now we are at 84,400 longs. So you know, you can see that retail investors are very bullish right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, like everyone's just kind of getting back into it, and you know, the whole Luna thing. It was extremely bad. You know, we all know that. But I think that it's gonna have people. You know, everyone's going to be talking about crypto now, which is very good for us retail investors. But also, I just think having an issue like this really gives some clarity, and also teaches all of the developers that, you know, there are certain things that, you know, your project can just get completely dumped. You know, going from a top 10 coin to now 0, like it shows that, you know, the market will move away. And I think it's going to make people act in a slightly, little bit more of a, like an intelligent way, you know?
It will teach people to, you know, manage their risk a little bit more as well, which I think is very, very important. Because I know at the start of my journey, I didn't manage my risk for the best of my ability, and I did, you know, see some losses that I would have not seen if I had proper risk management. But you know, over the time I've been in crypto, you know, I've learned it a lot, and risk management is a big part of my strategy now.
Yeah, and even like, you know, like one thing, for example, was I think KSI, you know, the popular YouTuber. He said he lost 2.8 million or something like this, just threw it into Luna. And you know, for him, he probably has the money to be able to afford that. But you know,
he put it over on Twitter. Actually, I do follow him on Twitter, and I think he put, it was around 2.3 something. Correct me if I'm wrong, but around that. And then a few moments later, he posted another photo of the same portfolio, which was at $3,000.
That's absolute killer, isn't it? It's killer. But you know, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, or I should say, crypto giveth and crypto taketh away. But so I just, in light of that whole Luna thing, I do want to show. So this is Dokwan. You know, I spent the last few days on the phone. This was posted yesterday. Now, obviously, people are, I guess we're not really very happy with him at all, you know. And he's the master of stablecoins, #Luna. Not really the master, unfortunately, Dokwan.
Yeah, I think he needs to change that.
To see it. Yeah, exactly, yeah. But this is one thing that actually was kind of brought up in light of this, was his previous activity. And this was that he actually started what's called basis cash. And this is an algorithmic stablecoin, decentralized, as you see here, pegged to $1. I believe it's currently worth 0.00765. Now, the reason why this is being brought up so much all over the internet is that obviously it's exactly the same story as what we had with Luna, which is an absolute disaster. And now the Luna Foundation Guard accumulated, as we're all very well aware, $2 billion in Bitcoin. And then it provided a loan of $750 million in Bitcoin. So there should, in theory, be 1.25 million left in Bitcoin. That's, you know, $1.25 billion. But no one knows where it is. You know, it could be that, like, we see the wallet that they posted here. They have the, you know, so we saw that it was there, but now the balance in Bitcoin is 0. So this does lead people to speculate, you know, Dokwan, he's done it before with basis cash, and that obviously didn't work out. And now it's Luna, but is this just a massive Ponzi scheme? Like, we just don't know. So, you know, going through this, it gives you, it's tough. It's really tough to actually believe.
It takes people's trust out of the
project.
Yeah, it takes people's trust, you know, out of crypto, which is bad for, you know, us that have been in crypto for a while now, because we want more people to come into this crypto space, but news like this is just driving them away and sticking to, you know, the safe sort of thing, sticking to their dollars, sticking to their
safer assets, and
safer assets. So,
and that's the thing. It's like even the Squid Games. You know, the Squid Games coin. You know, no association, but it's just a massive rug pull. There's been so many rug pulls. And, you know, like, unfortunately, we do see, well, I guess, fortunately for the general market, we see that Binance CEO said that he's going to support the Terra community. But, you know, because as Chris said, I believe it was 2 days ago, there are a portion of developers within the Luna community who are actually going to fork and come up with their own crypto, which I think is a very good thing. And so, Binance being able to come out and support them, I think that puts a little bit of trust back in. But at the end of the day, it's, after something like this, you can't really have too much faith in what these guys as a whole are going to do. I mean, I certainly wouldn't, I think I'm probably going to keep an eye on what these guys are up to and then probably stay away at almost all costs.
Yeah, it's hard. It's tough, but we'll see. We'll have to see.
We have to see. Luckily, though, lots of technical technical levels that are being held in the rest of the market. I brought up your screen here.
Yeah, so I'm going to start off with the Bitcoin chart. There's not much going on the charts at the moment because Bitcoin is just sat at a major support, not really doing anything. I'm expecting a short period of consolidation, or maybe a little bit longer than a short period of consolidation. But I do anticipate we are going to be consolidating within this blue area here. If you haven't watched the previous shows, you can see that this blue area is major support. We are sat at that level right now. We did bounce, perfectly off the bottom of this support, and we have seen a little bounce. I'm not getting the volume that I want to see, though. That is the issue right now. I talked about this this bullish divergence. So if I show you here, we're looking at this white dotted line along here. It's downtrending dotted line. You can see that we've had our first low here, and we've now just formed our second low. And then if we take a look at the RSI, you can see that we are making higher highs on the RSI. You can see the low here, you can see the low here. So momentum is to the upside on the RSI. We've had that sort of confirmation that I wanted, those two green candles, but I haven't seen the volume yet. I'm not really acting on this yet because we haven't seen that volume. If we can see that volume, then yes, I think, we can see more price action towards the upside. As I said in the last show, talking about those $35,000 level and the $37,000 level, which I'm looking at for the next sort of resistance level. If we can, get the volume, we can break up above this major support level, then that is what I'm looking at. But right now, I'm just not seeing the volume, and especially with the fear and greed index at 10. There's so much fear in the market at the moment. That is why there's no volume. And as I said, I think we are just
need some kind of catalytic event to either change that. Or just continue, because this could just be a dead cat bounce, and then almost like a retest, and then more push to the downside. I don't think that will be the case. I think a lot of the rate hikes and stuff, things that might push the market down, have already been priced in now, since we're at such a massive discount.
Yeah, I hope so. And as you said, I don't think, it's going to break the support level. There is a possibility, because there is so much talk about 20,000 and 24,000, it's still a possibility. I'm not taking that off the table because, as a trader, you've got to think of every aspect of what can happen. And, if you don't factor in that 24,000 and 20,000 is sort of on the edge of the table, then you're not doing it right. You have to just factor in everything. So I'm not taking it off the table yet. There is still a possibility, but if we were to break, then I am looking at strong support at 24,000. If we break that, it's 20,000 as my worst case scenario. But at the moment, I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at seeing a bounce now. We just need a little bit more volume. That's all we need on the Bitcoin charts. A little bit more volume to see that bounce that we have seen back in January 2021, May, June, July of 2021 as well. We want to see these big bounces. But yeah,
whenever we've hit this level, we've always kind of followed with quite a strong bit of momentum to the upside, as you see.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully. We aren't seeing the volume that we did back then, these big spikes in volume, but hopefully we can get that. Hopefully some good news comes out, or something that can just, push this price a little bit higher, get the confidence back in, and then, we can start getting up to those resistance levels. I like being at resistance levels, and I like breaking resistance levels because it means that we can, get to higher prices, and it's great. But right now, as I said, we just need to hold the support. So far, we're doing it. But we are going to consolidate most likely because there is no volume. Looking at Ethereum as well, Ethereum actually bounced perfectly off this second key support level that I've been talking about. You can see lots of resistance previously and lots of support previously. We did break that first key support level, but we did find that support on the second key support level. So we did in fact find perfect support at the very bottom of my second key support level, and we bounced off that, and then we got the candle close at the very top. So right now we are seeing a nice bounce. I'd like to see a little bit more volume, like on the Bitcoin chart. You know, if Bitcoin bounces, Ethereum is for sure going to bounce as well. But it's just the volume that we need. We need the volume, and then once we get the volume, I think we can start getting up to them resistance levels, and then we can start talking about sort of all-time highs. We're still a long way from that, but we just need to break all these resistance levels, hold this support. If we hold this support, then it's great news for the crypto space.
I think what could be maybe one of the, a catalyst is, Sam Bankman-Fried from FTX, him obviously buying shares in Robinhood, and there's a lot of speculation there as to whether he's going to be doing something similar as we see Elon Musk doing with Twitter. Now, I don't know if that whole Twitter deal is going to go ahead. I think if it does, it's probably so it's probably going to be quite a good catalytic event. And they already have some incorporation with using crypto, but it'd be nice to see a full on massive crypto guy like Sam getting onto the board, or even having some kind of say in what's going on in Robinhood, because I think by volume, that's some of their most profitable, or one of the most profitable parts of the business there is, their crypto trading, especially with Dogecoin and lots of the meme investors, should we call them. But that's a really, really strong area for them. So it'd be really good to see that be pushed a little bit more. So maybe some kind of acquisition or working with the Robinhood team could give us that volume that we need.
Yeah, and he's a very smart guy, so I'm sure he's going to do something great there as well, which will be for the crypto space.
I agree. Until then, there's not really too much else to kind of say. Looking sideways a little bit overall. Obviously, we'll be back tomorrow. Is there anything you want to kind of end with here, AJ?
Yeah, as always, stay safe with this lunar situation now. So just stay safe out there. Don't get too greedy, because that's when you start getting in trouble. Yeah,
if you're trading, make sure you have a stop loss.
Yeah.
don't just let it. It's a very risky game at the moment.
It is indeed. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, make sure
from us today.
Yeah, make sure you slap that subscribe button, turn that bell notification on, so you're notified when we are going live. Follow the Twitter as well. Head over to Satoshi Society Twitter account. We're posting as much as we can over there as well, because as I said, before, we cannot be live all the time. So the next best thing that we can be getting information to you is over on Twitter. So make sure you go and follow us over there.
Perfect, good. And remember, when we get to 200 subscribers, we're going to do another giveaway of $500 worth of Bitcoin. So make sure that you get yourself eligible and get us to 200, and then we'll do that $500 giveaway.
Yeah.
I like the video. I know you can. A little bit, little bit of effort from you, but really helps us out and keeps the channel going.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah.
See you later, guys.
See you later.